Is it recording? It didn't even give me the little thing. All right. Well, I guess I'm recording. I love starting like that, huh? I think it's recording. Anywho, good morning, everybody. It's 6:33 on Wall Street, 3 hours before the stock market opens. Welcome to QuantBox. It's time to get your macro on. QuantBox Live is where we uncover the best fundamental opportunities across across the globe. My name is Wayne McDonald. I studied economics at Harvard. I have a bachelor's degree in macroeconomics and a master's degree in financial management. And I love trading. Been trading the markets for over 20 years. I'm a macroeconomic trend trader. That's why I like this stuff. Boop, boop, boop. If you're watching this video on YouTube, it's delayed many hours. Why don't you swing by QuantBox and take the trial? It's less than $8, and you get all the pretty colors presented to you. You can also attend these sessions live. You also get the macroeconomics training course. You also get the QuantBox training course, all for $8. QuantBox.co. Let me remind you that trading is risky, not appropriate for everyone. Past performance, good or bad, is not necessarily indicative of future results. Please stay small, stay humble, focus on the long term. Never risk money you cannot afford to lose. Me. So today must be the 25th of September. Is that right? Wow, it went by fast, didn't it? Month went by fast. So I think 30% of companies in the United States and Europe are reporting in the next couple of days, next 2 or 3 days. So we definitely have market pressures. We also have, well, today is the first day of the Fed meeting. Tomorrow is the announcement and press conference. We also have the ECB and Bank of Japan. There's a lot going on in the world. And right now, that means there's not a lot going on in the world. I know it's a paradox. Yield on the 10-year T-note hasn't changed it at all. Oil is stuck, doesn't quite want to get to 80. Remember, that was our target 2 weeks ago. Gold is flat. S&P 500 slightly up. I believe the Chinese stock markets were up last night. Rumors or hints or actual announcements of some sort of stimulus coming. Cool. Hasn't been reflected in our stock markets yet. Euro dollar flat. Bitcoin down a bit. And, 0.24 for Bitcoin is flat. Taking a look at the gauges. Right now, just medium-term risk off. -3 is the score. Everything else is quite mixed, so be cautious. Obviously, the market is waiting for something. Take a look here at the scorecard summary. Maybe look at something neutral. Pound, Swissy, Aussie, Swissy, Kiwi, Swissy, neutral but negative. Maybe we'll take a look at some of those. Well, we look at here. We're approaching the target on oil established a while ago, and it's just hesitating in the last few hours before. One of the things we talked about yesterday is, right, allowing it to fall so that you can buy a dip. You don't want to buy it high, you want it to fall. And, this is why we have those daily pivots there to remind you that they're buying zones. So you want to buy low, kick it off the 21. And today's target is $80.55. But we set this up a long time ago. So I dumbed it down and just said, nah, $80. Very cool. Gold hasn't done much. I like gold actually coming down. Again, if you believe we're in a disinflationary period, that's great. Particular, you should be worried as a bull if you're through this area. That was the last chance. Ooh. So even if you're a bull and you buy it down here, you have permission to buy it at M2. That's okay. But now that we've pulled back that much, you face the risk of head and shoulders. Okay. When it falls that much, it poses the risk. If it had just kicked off the role reversal, it'd be just boom. You'd have no fear. Now you should have some fear. But like I said, I don't mind dollar strength at all, in fact. But we're waiting for the second half of the the development of a recession, and we haven't seen that yet. And that's why we're watching earnings season because um, what we're watching for is simply identified as this. I'm gonna instead of future value, I'm gonna do cash flows 24. Oh, that's CH. Duh. Let's do it this way. I'll change the formula slightly. Cash flows of 24 over 1 plus I to the 1 plus the cash flows of 25 over, okay, 1 plus I interest rates to the 2 and so on and so forth. So if cash flows which this is what companies are reporting right now, earnings and profits. This is earnings. So if corporate earnings start to fall next year and the year after, then that's the next wave of recession. Okay, and that hasn't occurred yet. It's kind of interesting. And if the Fed pauses, it may not happen at all, and that's why we're looking at that. So, anyways, if we have disinflation, if that I falls, um, you don't need to hedge disinflation. So, anyways, by the way, I think we have consumer confidence today, and I think we have some weak form of real estate news today. I'm not really concerned about either of it. I might be concerned about that Fed meeting tomorrow, though. The Chinese stimulus that is also of interest, so we have to verify that. All right, so let's zip over and take a look at those Swissies. Will they present opportunities today? Remember, most of these have like negative scores, which would indicate down. Let's bust this out a little bit, though. This can get very interesting if you are thinking up. Wrong one. Sorry. 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 There we go. Let's try to line these up a little bit. Oh. All right. So this is a potential new angle of attack. We are above the moving average, and that would be risk on. Maybe the United States has a mild recession or no recession. And on top of that, stimulus out of China changes the direction of this pair. You'd want to see it get above old support, but it could be legit. Okay, the narrative may be changing. Doug Wilson, I think his name is, at Morgan Stanley capitulated and said he was wrong about the recession coming. He was one of the biggest Wall Street bears. Every day he was louder than all the other bears. And well, he had humble pie for breakfast. So Andrew, so anyway, so that's actually a change in the narrative, isn't it? If a big Wall Street house, big Wall Street shop changes their tone, interesting. Anything else like kitty cat? Like what I'm looking for based on QuantBox is that there's still some legacy potential for Swiss franc strength. So, what about like areas like this? Could this be a potential sell zone? Oops, let's do that in pink. Could it do something like this and then rock and roll the other way? Yeah, well, precisely what I'm looking for. It's not a prediction, but we do want to kick it off that 21, huh? And maintain this kind of thing. So it's not that it will happen, but if it is, we want to look at that. Now that is risk off. Okay, that is risk off. As far as a daily chart is concerned, even if you were a bull, I don't think you really want to buy here. Doesn't seem right to me. What does it look like on a 4 hour? It's neutral. It's still technically bearish on a 4 hour. I'm not loving it. If you're a bear, you would not be loving it. In fact, I doubt you're even in it, but you can still be a bear. And in particular, it could go like, and then you can re-engage this way if you're a bear, if it does it. But it seems like mediocrity, doesn't it? Doesn't it seem a lot like yesterday where the market is frozen waiting for the central bank news? Yeah. Okay. See, you're like, but Wayne, you could have bought this dip. Yeah, but I wouldn't have been a bull. How would I know it was going to rally? Okay. So really there was almost like a 50-50, and I'm not interested in odds like that. Okay. I would have thought this, okay, to be frank, Swiss franc, you get it? I would have thought that all day long. It's not that I had to trade it, but that's what I would have thought. Or at least it's not even thought. Those are my rules of engagement. I'm still a bear on here, so if it rallies, I'm not even interested. Even right, it's too early to call it bullish. So I'd rather just sit around waiting for an opportunity. I'll ambush it later. Euro Swissy don't really want because there is still some strength in Euro, although yeah, it's later. Like this would be killer, wouldn't this be better? Yeah, Euro's been punished a little bit. In fact, let's get off Swiss franc for a bit because you can see that we've hit a lot of targets. It's already done M3 to M1, so that's already done. Some of these are weird, like CAD being so low against Swiss franc. That's kind of weird. If we focus on Euro specifically, dollar crushing that Euro, Kiwi even. That's embarrassing. uh, this is sort of a mediocre play. I don't know if you want to own pound. I think that's the issue, isn't it? And look at how flat this market is. Just crazy. But next week's trade plan is sell it around this 86 area. We're at 86 now. It was 86 and a half, and the target was down at 84 and a half. But anyway, it's kind of interesting. I don't know if I want to get involved with that, but it's interesting how rangy that is, huh? Euro Aussie also very rangy. Okay. As a reminder on how to trade a range, I never attempt to predict a break of the range. As far as I'm concerned, it's going to move sideways forever and ever 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 until it breaks. And then you engage a breakout strategy of if it breaks to the downside, okay, there's the breakout, have it pulled back, test the roll reversal, drop it like it's hot. Or let's say it breaks high, comes down, okay, and then take it. Amazing some of these ranges though. Wow, especially if you're a trend trader. But I suppose it's not really that surprising if, we call this shooting at rabbits. It's wabbit season. So, to get sort of these sort of more I don't know, I don't know, just I don't know. It makes I guess it's not that surprising. Is all I'm trying to say. Euro Swissy, yeah, best mover, but too late in the month. So the pattern here, okay, M3 as a sell predicts this gray zone. We've hit it. We hit it 2 weeks ago. We hit it last week. We've hit it again. Does it does it predict that it goes lower? No, that's actually statistically rare. It's not uncommon, but it's not common. So, would you plan for this to fall? No. What I'd rather you say, look left and say, Wayne, my future plan for this, and it may take 2 weeks, Wayne, but this is what I got going on in the gray matter. That's what the gray matter says. I'm like, that's cool. Cool. So, nothing still that spectacular. CAD between the 21 and 200 versus euro, not amazing. I suppose you could say, well, it's going to drop through support and then drop forever. Well, I don't know if you can actually say that technically. I mean, you might think it, you might want it, you might be right, but it's really probabilities, right? That I'm most interested in. So, anyways, so yeah, that could be. Could you engage? Well, you are bearish, right? If you're below the 21, you could be trying some of these things. And of course, you're right. If it drops below this, it's a long way down, huh? That puts Europe in serious jeopardy. I don't know if I believe in that yet. Here's how I read it. Is it true that this this July August period that I'm a little more bullish on the US dollar? Not even bullish, just this is a fading period, right? If you were long euro dollar, you're going to exit euro dollar longs. If you're long Aussie yen, you're going to exit your Aussie yens. There's just less volume. So what does that mean? Well, whatever you had volumes of money in, you have less volumes of money in now. So you've taken some of those volumes of money out of the market. So these are fades. So like for euro to kind of weaken in here on the short run and have a little bit of dollar strength, that's perfectly normal. Perfectly normal. And if dollar is a little bit strong, euro's going to be a little bit weak. It's just how it goes. I'll show you. Okay. Like, look at what euro dollar tends to do. this time of year. Okay. This is Aussie dollar. This is Kiwi dollar. Okay. This is pound dollar. The last 5 years have been more dramatic. Could have been Brexit. Here's a little one there. Yen can get even weaker. And then why is this one up? Because it's the opposite. It's inverse. so so it's not that surprising, but it's a fade, really. Yeah, still quite neutral. Oh, I have to figure that out. Yeah, I am going to have the same tone today regarding trading. I'm cautious because I feel like normally this time of year there's a fade, like I just kind of showed you, which is it's not really risk off. It's just less risk on. Because if the economy is not going to tank, it's a good economy worth investing into. Just maybe not this week. There's a difference. So, but we got all this news, right? So again, if there's no, if the market normally fades, um, but it's rallying, I don't want to sell the market, but I have concerns about the rally. So, anyways, all of a sudden you get very neutral. If we were going to look, I guess before I was going to go, but why don't we do the scatter plot? So with the Fed meeting coming up, ECB meeting coming up, Bank of Japan meeting coming up, I think I'm waiting for these things, right? And what we're looking for in a scatter plot is either everything kind of trending this way or everything kind of trending this way. But doesn't it kind of feel kind of like this? Okay. Notice how we have less extreme stuff. Looks like when you're looking at what QuantBox is thinking about these assets, looks like +3, -3. Like this range is really tightening, huh? We're losing bullishness and bearishness. Shouldn't that be a warning to us as traders and investors? Right? There's very few things that QuantBox says, man, you should go all in. Well, of course, it never says that, but it's a lot less bullish and a lot less bearish than it used to be. And remember, so what we're talking about as is this distance here is narrow, and then the vertical stuff is how much it's changed today. Did it go up or down today? And the biggest loser is 0.5%. The biggest winners are 0.5%. Should we? Does this present itself to you as an amazing opportunity to deploy your capital, invest your money? I look at it, I'm like, no, I don't want to overdo it today. So patience, discipline. I love trading, but I hate losing money. So I want to be neutral today. That's me. So Thank you for being here. It's such an early hour. I appreciate that. I'd hate to do these videos alone. So thank you for getting up nice and early. Uh, yeah, peace on earth. May the pips be with you. May your profit